An autistic accountant, twisted minds, thrilling fights, confusion, and final twists. The Accountant is back, and this time, the stakes are even higher. 2025 is truly blessing us with cinematic gold. The Accountant 2 is already making waves. Netflix top 10, 13.2 million watch hours, and counting. But hold on, after that jaw-dropping twist in the first movie, for those who know, you know, and for those who don't, well, spoilers ahead. What exactly are we walking into this time? Is Christian Wolff still the hunter, or is he now the hunted? Back in 2016, The Accountant hit the screens, and it wasn't just another action thriller, it was a wild ride. Ben Affleck plays Christian Wolff, a socially withdrawn math genius. He's an accountant, yes, but not the type to file your taxes. And it's not just Affleck carrying the show. We've got Anna Kendrick bringing her quirky charm, J.K. Simmons doing his thing as the relentless investigator, John Brenthal being, well, aka walking intensity, Cynthia Addai-Robinson, Jeffrey Tambor, and John Lithgow adding serious weight to this lineup. The cast was built for chaos, and they delivered. Fast forward 9 years, and The Accountant is back in the spotlight. Who knew a financial thriller could go this hard? And let's talk about that ending. The twists? Insane. The action? Ruthless. The reveals? Mind-blowing. Which begs the real question. Where does The Accountant 2 even go from here? How do you top that level of chaos? Oh, don't worry. We're getting there. Let's rewind a bit, because if you haven't seen the first one, you might be wondering, why is everyone so hyped? Why is this one of the most anticipated movies of 2025? And most importantly, what did we just watch? It all starts with a little boy sitting in a room, hyper-focused on a puzzle, but one piece is missing, and for him, that's a big problem. He gets anxious, he starts to spiral, but then this girl, Justine, quietly helps him find his missing piece. And in that tiny moment, Christian Wolff finally feels at peace. But hold up, Christian's life isn't just puzzles and numbers, nope. His dad, hardcore military, and his philosophy, the world isn't going to be kind to you, so you better toughen up. So instead of, I don't know, therapy or emotional support, Christian gets intense combat training alongside his brother. Fast forward to adulthood, and Chris is now a math genius, but not just any math genius, he's an accountant. And not just any accountant, he's the guy criminals hire when they need their books uncooked without leaving a trace.
Agent.
If you're a mafia boss with some shady transactions, he's your guy. The catch? He also has a secret stash of laundered money, high-end weapons, and a bizarre nighttime routine that involves blasting death metal while punishing himself. Now enter Dana Cummings, played by Anna Kendrick. She works at this high-tech robotics company and notices some seriously sketchy missing funds. The CEO, Lamar Blackburn, hires Chris to look into it. And oh boy, does he look into it. The guy can sniff out a fraudulent account faster than I can solve basic algebra. He figures out that millions have been stolen, and suddenly, people start dying. Meanwhile, over at the Treasury Department, we meet Mary Beth Medina. She's just trying to do her job, but her boss, Ray King, is like, hey, track down this mystery account or, lose your career. No pressure, right? Medina is hesitant because, fun fact, she's got a little criminal history of her own. But with no choice, she starts digging. And then things go bananas. One night, Chris sees some hitmen sneaking into his previous client's house. So what does he do? The most Chris thing ever. He wipes them all out, like a total badass. But before they die, they reveal that their real target wasn't the client. It was him and Dana.
God!
So now, he's in full-blown protector mode. He grabs Dana, they go on the run, and she starts realizing this dude is weirdly good at combat, like scary good. But Chris isn't much of a talker. So instead of explaining anything, he just takes her to his secret house, a literal vault of weapons, rare paintings, and stacks of money. It's like a billionaire's panic room, but way more illegal. Meanwhile, Medina is putting the puzzle together, and then, boom, she finds it.
Christian Wolff.
Really?
Christian Wolff last year ran $75,543 through his accounting firm.
Who is Chris?
A video of a past assassination, and in the background, a nursery rhyme, which means whoever did it probably had some serious childhood trauma. And at that moment, we flash back again to Chris as a kid, being forced to fight for survival. And then we meet the real wild card in this story, Braxton. He's also a highly trained killer, except he works on the other side. He's been hired to protect the bad guys, and Chris's new target is Brax. So now we've got this crazy parallel story. Chris solves crimes with numbers and Medina chasing him, while Braxton is just wreaking havoc on anyone in his way. And then the showdown happens. Chris storms into Lamar Blackburn's house, single-handedly taking down all his guards. Braxton is there, ready to fight, but then something weird happens. He hears it, the same nursery rhyme, and he realizes this isn't just some target. This is his brother.
First, I'm gonna ask you a question. You're gonna give me an answer.
In a weird, twisted way, they still care about each other, and instead of killing each other, they take down the real enemy, Blackburn. But wait, that's not the final twist, because remember Justine, the girl from the beginning who helped Chris with his puzzle? Turns out, she's not just some random childhood friend, nope. She's actually a genius-level hacker who has been secretly running the show all along. And well, she's nonverbal, so she communicates through this computer, which has a British AI voice. So yeah, the real mastermind behind Christian's entire operation, Justine. And the movie ends with one last emotional moment. Chris sending Dana a painting, but not just any painting, a hidden masterpiece. Because just like Chris himself, there's way more beneath the surface than meets the eye. And that's The Accountant for you. But now, the big question is, what happens in the sequel? Despite being an absolute banger of an action thriller, The Accountant got some seriously mixed reviews from critics. Some people weren't thrilled about how it portrayed autism, and of course, there were the usual, it's too unrealistic complaints. But let's be real. Who watches an action thriller for realism? I mean, half the fun is watching Ben Affleck wipe out an entire squad of hitmen. That being said, even the critics had to admit that Affleck killed it in this role. And the action? Next level. If you've ever wondered why the fight scenes felt so brutal and technical, that's because the film incorporated pencak silat, an Indonesian martial art that's all about speed, precision, and full-body strikes. Now, if you're wondering how the movie did overall, the numbers speak for themselves. Rotten Tomatoes? Critics gave it a meh 53%, but the audience? A solid 76%. The official critics' consensus even admitted that Affleck carried the whole thing, saying, "The Accountant writes off a committed performance from Ben Affleck, leaving viewers with a scattershot action thriller beset by an array of ill-advised deductions." And with that saying, The Accountant 2 is officially happening this April. Yep, after years of waiting, we're finally getting a sequel, and most of the original cast is back. The only difference? This time, it's going straight to Prime Video, meaning we won't have to wait for a theatrical release. Just instant action, straight to streaming. Now, what's the plot? That's the big mystery. No official details have been revealed, but the first movie's ending pretty much set it up perfectly. Christian and his brother Brax finally reunited, and Medina officially took over Ray King's job at the Treasury Department. But this time, King has been murdered. Who did it? And why? From the little we've seen in the trailer, it looks like this sequel is diving even deeper into the Wolff brothers' relationship. Their childhood was brutal, their bond is complicated, and their minds even more complex. This time, with Medina working alongside them, things are about to get messy. And call me crazy, but I have a feeling this movie might finally unravel the real reason why Chris let King live in the first movie. and a deeper dive into their childhood leading up to the events when Chris had King at his gunpoint.
Do what I need to do.
Either way, The Accountant 2 is going to be a wild ride, and if the first movie was any sign of what's coming, we better buckle up. But what do you think? Will The Accountant 2 dive deeper into Chris's mind, or are we in for another wild twist? Comment down below. Also, don't miss the latest Jurassic Park updates.